Hi everyone, welcome to another Ink and Inspirations video. Today I'm going to be making this little 3x3 love note and coordinating envelope, so let's get started. First, my card base is Bermuda Bay textured cardstock. I took a piece of 12x12 cardstock and cut it into pieces 3 inches wide by 6 inches long. And with a 12 by 12 piece, you get 8 little cards out of that one sheet of cardstock. I scored it at 3 inches, and so I could fold it in half. And I'm going to use my bone folder to crease. Now I'm going to be using some designer paper from this little Welcome Neighbor Designer Series paper pad that is available free with your $50 product order. This is one of the free products available in the celebration brochure. And so what I did is I found a sheet, it's double-sided, and I cut the pieces 3 by 1. And I'm going to take this little heart print and use my snail and adhere it to the bottom of the cardstock in the front here. Okay. Next, I'm going to take the Pinking Hearts Border Punch that's available in the Occasions Mini, and I'm going to take this Melon Mambo stripe. I'm going to center it and punch. We're going to make a little hearts border, and I'm moving over to slide and line up the pinked edges there with the silver that is on the image that is on the punch itself. And I'm going to slide it over there and punch. Then I'm going to do this other side and line it up. It's on both sides, so you can just slide it over and punch. And you have to make sure that the paper is flush with this little edge right here, this little ridge. Okay. As you can see, I slid that over a little bit too far, and now it's ready to go. Okay, now I'm going to take and put my card sideways so I can line it up on my grid sheet and use the snail adhesive, and I want to overlap that bottom piece of designer paper so that the little hearts are above it and it shows through there, and line it up. Okay, alright, next I want to use this, I already pre-stamped this piece with my I Heart Heart stamp set. This is the set that until the end of February, I believe, that $2 from the sale of each one of these I Heart Heart set that's available in the Occasions Mini, Stampin' Up! Will donate $2 to the American Red Cross in Haiti. So I wanted to make another card with that one. There's some more on my blog. Here is the heart that I stamped, and I cut out and left just a little white rim around the edge, and I'll show you why I did that in a few minutes. The next thing I'm going to do is I have a 12-inch piece of Bermuda Bay polka dot grosgrain, and I'm going to tie that around the edges. Go around the edge, and I like to give myself plenty of ribbon to tie the knot. This ribbon is, like I said, double-sided, and you can use either the polka dot side or the solid side, so it's like having 2 ribbons in one. Okay, I'm going to twist it so that the polka dots will show on this end, and then I'm going to take my craft and paper scissors that I use for cutting ribbon and trim the edges. Okay, now for this top here, what I did is I used a stamp from the Tiny Tags stamp set that's available in the Occasions Mini. I used this little flourish right here, and I'm going to use Bermuda Bay again, and I'm going to make myself a little background up here on the top of the card, and I'm just going to slide my ribbon down a little bit to get it out of the way. And I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to stamp 3 times here across the top. This is just going to give it a tone-on-tone look. And then 2 here, kind of like in a staggered pattern. And that makes it really cute and just adds to that top rather than just leaving it plain. Okay, now what I want to do is take I'm moving the ribbon back up, and I'm going to take my corner rounder punch and punch the edges of the card, front and back. Okay, and I want to put something on the inside of the card so I'll have a space to write, and I'm going to use this same little flourish that I used on the outside, and I'm going to stamp it right in the center so it's not just a plain sheet of Whisper White cardstock inside. Just kind of adds a little bit to it. Okay, and then I'm going to attach with snail. And you can see that on this piece of Whisper White, I cut it a 2 3/4 inch square, and then I rounded the bottom 2 corners here to match the rounded edges on this card. Remember, this card is a 3-inch square, and I just cut this cardstock a 1/4 inch smaller all the way around. Okay. So lastly, I'm going to close this up. I'm going to take my heart that I had stamped and previously cut out, and I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals to attach it to the card. I'm putting it over the ribbon, so I want it to sit up a little bit off the card. And take these off. Slide my ribbon over just a tad to make room for the heart. And remember how I told you about how I left that little white border around the edge when I was cutting out this heart? Well, for one thing, it gives a neater finish than trying to stay exactly on the edge, I've found. And secondly, it gives that little border and makes it really stand out from that Bermuda Bay background. So anyway, there's the little card. Now I'm going to show you the envelope. And what I did is I wanted to line this inside here with this paper from the Good Neighbors, Welcome Neighbor stack. And so what I did is this envelope measures about 3 1/8 inches wide. So I cut this just a hair over 3 inches wide, this piece of the designer paper. And I'm going to turn it over. And you could trace this, but I'm going to eliminate that step and just cut around the edges of this top flap. It just kind of is a shortcut, eliminates a step. And I may have to trim it a little bit more in a second. You'll see when I get it closed, but it'll work out just fine. Either way, I'm going to put a little bit of snail here. And then I'm going to crease it on the fold. And that gave it a pretty nice finish there. I don't think I have to do any trimming. And then to add to the matching to coordinate with the card, I'm going to stamp this same heart in Bermuda Bay, and I'm going to offset it just a little bit. And there you go. A little card and a matching envelope, good for Valentine's Day or just for a friend. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will visit my website at inkandinspirations.com. Email me if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.